So pleased to meet you. My name is Ayu, and I am the moderator of this event. So this webinar is one of GLC Network's regular event every Thursday night with any variation topics. And topics for tonight is working with shell in Unix Linux. We also have a live practice session, so feel free to join the practice. And during webinar, if you have any questions, you may drop the message in chat box or just unmute yourself and ask question directly. So, all right. So let me introduce you to the speaker tonight, Mas Ahmad Mardiansyah. He is a co-founder of GLC Networks. He is also a trainer, a mentor, and consultant for an IT and ISP as well. So, Mas Ahmad, are you there? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, so we start. Thank you and enjoy the webinar.
Right, thank you for the introduction. So today we'll be talking about the topic here, named working with shell in Linux and Unix. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully you can get, you have internet access, which is, I mean, more beneficial if you are in this webinar, because I'm currently sharing an access to what is it, to the our server for practice. Okay, so hopefully you can access that, and we can do a practice here. Okay. um all right, yeah. So these are the agenda. We'll be talking about the shell first. What is shells? What do we shells? Why it's called shell? Things like that. And then we talk about some features, some commands, and then we can try to make some shell script in our live server, live practice server. Okay. So I think where if I give you already the access to the live practice server. Okay, let me check live practice. Okay, okay, I already give you the live practice. I will give you the live practice access. Okay, there you go. You can find it in the chat box. Okay, so try it and then make sure you can access, because I'm going to have a live demo during my presentation tonight. Okay, so these are the agenda. We will be talking about everything about shells. Uh, yeah, at least you will have an idea about how the shell looks like, and then get the most of the benefit from the shells. Okay. Right, about the GLC itself. So we are based in Bandung, Indonesia. So our areas are IT training and consulting. We are partner for MikroTik, Ubiquiti, and Linux. We also have our product for manager, Radius Manager. Uh, yeah, currently is being used in several ISP in Indonesia and overseas. We also have regular event like what we are doing tonight every Thursday night. Okay. About myself, my name is Achmad Mardiansyah. I'm also based in Bandung. Linux user since 1999, so it was a long time ago. MikroTik user 2007, Ubiquiti. I'm a certified trainer for MikroTik, Ubiquiti, and Linux contributor. And guys, if you have LinkedIn, I really want to connect with you guys. So, okay, uh, that's was about me. About the past experience, we were doing some projects in overseas, mostly related to networking and system administrations. So during our project, we do networking, mainly based on MikroTik. Well, some Cisco, some other vendors. Yes, we also do other vendors, but not much. Uh, and during our project, we also do networking, system administration. So we are managing the Linux server. We set up a shell script and then managing the operation and maintenance, uh, and also develop an application for our customer. Okay, so I mean, so it's not only, oh, okay, I'm only deal with Linux. No, no, it's not like Linux is just only one part. MikroTik is also other part, and then we give a solution for our customer. So because customer, what the customer need is solutions, right? Customers, maybe many customer, they don't really have a specific specific request. So uh, they want to do based on Cisco or whatever, uh, but we give them a solution. So yeah, it's up to us as long as they are happy, and then it's good also for us. Right, about the webinar itself, I started from, we started in 2010, and then again, starting this year, we want to make it regular, so every 1 week. And I think, thank you very much for you guys. I can see some of you are from here, from Indonesia. Some of you are not. Okay, but thank you for joining us here. Okay, let's talk about shell. Okay, so what is shell? Shell is a computer program that exposes an operating system services to human user or other programs. So sounds like theoreticals, but yes, that's the definition of the shell. Okay, so perhaps I can share my screen here, the whole screen. Okay, hopefully you can see here clearly. Yeah, that's a shell, okay. So I'm talking about a shell now, and then you can see my shell here. Great. So this is shell, okay. So this is how the shell looks like. Oh, okay, just one prompt, and then you can type everything inside. Yes, that's how the shell looks like. Oh, okay, I can see some of you already log in. Thank you very much. I'm here login as Live20, right? So some of you already log in. Thank you. And yes, we can have a practice here together. Okay, so regarding shell and subshell, so what is shell? So shell is a computer software. So when we talk about shell, so we have an operating system. This is an operating system, okay, and in this operating system we have a core operating system, which is the kernel, and then the kernel actually we have here inside is the hardware, okay. So the kernel access the hardware, and then uh, the shell is covering the kernel, okay. So application and then user will access the shell, okay. So application access the shell, shell access the kernel, kernel access the hardware. So this is what we are talking about tonight is the shells, okay. So when we log into the operating system, what we got is the shell, Okay, shell. Why the name is shell? Because it's covered, so it looks like a shell, like a normal shells. Yeah. Shell can be command line or CLI or GUI, graphical user interface. So why we use command line? Because that's the, originate uh, original form of shell. Okay, so when you have a computer in the beginning of when the computer is designed, when we give command to the computer, we send that command through a shell, a command line shell. Okay, at the time a GUI was not invented. Maybe Apple Lisa or Windows, early Windows, MS-DOS was invented later. Okay, but in the beginning, it's just only a text user interface or a command line base. And then from the access origin, we can divide shells like as local shell and remote shell. Okay, so local shell means you connect directly the server, uh, which you can type, you can connect the keyboard and mouse and monitor directly, and then you can type directly to the machine. So that is called local shell. Remote shell means you are accessing the shell, but not directly to your computer. So this is your laptop. Okay, so laptop here, and then you have internet, and then here's the server. Okay, so the server here, when you access, uh, you're not connected directly, so it means that it's a remote shell, just like what we are doing here. Okay, so yeah, that's the shell that we are talking about. Okay, so that's the definition of shell. So we need shell. So when you access a shell, okay, and then when you log in, when you log into a server, yeah, and you'll be given a shell that you can use for your task. Okay, uh, yeah, for many purpose, right? You can send a command ls. Okay, you can ping 88888, for example. Okay, you can do that. Yes. And then what else? What else you can do? You can do many things. Okay. And then during your login, when you're accessing a shells, and then we will create process for that. How do I check the process? There is a command in Unix or Linux named ps. Then we can see it. So when you type something, when you execute something, it will create a process. And then every process must have an ID, a process ID. So this is PS, and this is bash. So my shell here is bash shell. Okay. Yeah, it's a bash shell. Sorry, I need to do something here locally. Yeah, and then I think you can use the same shell as well. So this is how it looks like. Okay, at least now you know how to check the process ID, and then yeah, every shell, and then it will create a process. Okay, so as long as you are login, there is a process that is always running. So even though you are do nothing, yeah, do nothing like what I'm doing here, or you can type sleep. Okay, sleep for 10 seconds. Okay. uh, yes, the um, Yeah, the process ID is there. And then we also can do a spawn. Spawn means creating or yeah, create a new shells, sub shells. Okay, so when you log in, this is your shell. Okay, so this is your shell. And then so when you spawn, and then you call another spawn here. And then you type bus. Okay, you type another bus, and then we can check the parent and child relationship there. So let's check. Okay, so PS, does it support? Yes. So I can create bus. I can create another bus. Okay, just type bus. So it means that I'm using a shell. And then I can check what is, how is it looks like the bus shell that I'm creating so far. So PS minus minus forest. Yeah, so here it is. Okay, so I'm now here. Okay, I'm located here. So 191094818. So this is me now. I'm typing PS. Okay, so this is the PS. So inside this shell, so I'm executing a command. So there is a shell, and then this is a subshell here, and then there is another subshell. So why do we need subshell? Well, mainly because we don't want to disturb our main shell. Okay, so when we do something on the new subshells, it's free to us to do something there. Okay, we don't want to disturb or change the main variables that maybe is already used for other purpose. Okay, so that's the purpose why we use the subshell. Uh, yeah, okay, so at least up to now, you have an understanding about how the shell and subshell looks like. Okay. Ah, okay. We have many shells out there. Either um, GUI-based shell or command line shell. Uh, yeah. And then the difference between them are the features. Okay. So when I use Unix at the time, I used Unix in 2006. Yeah, yes, used in 2006. At the time, uh, yeah, the shell that is provided in Solaris operating system is a Bourne shell, and then that Bourne shell is really really old. Okay, it doesn't have auto completion. Okay, so after we log in, we have to type bash. Okay, so it means that we change from Bourne shell to bash shell. So remember, okay, in Unix, actually the Bourne shell and bash shell are two different things. Okay, but in Linux, Bourne shell and bash shell are similar. Okay, so for example, ls minus l, for example, h. Okay, so you can press tab here for auto completion. See, delete again. I just put H and then press tab, and then the shell will complete the commands automatically for me. So that one is really, really helpful. Another feature is for Clobber. Okay, it's for uh, avoiding the uh, shell redirection. Okay, so when you do ls, okay, so you can do a redirection. Type here results of ls. Okay, so nothing happened appear because all results will be redirected to this file. Okay, so actually when you type ls minus l, you will get this output. Okay, but because I put a redirection here, Okay, redirection here. So the results that is supposed to be out to the display now will be directed to the file. So this is the command, okay, and then this is the output. Okay, put it here. So this is the signal, also not signal, the operators. Okay, so it means that we are redirecting the output. Okay, so that's Clobber. Uh, so and then you can check more results of LS. So this is how it looks like. Okay, so that's the result. The things that's supposed to be appear on screen now you can check it on the files. Okay, it says it's written in plain text, so you can just use text editor or viewer for that. It's not that hard. Okay, set. If you want to check the shell features, you can check it here. Set -O. Okay, so these are the features of the shells. Okay, so I haven't checked it one by one. Okay, uh, but you get the idea. So these are an example of features of the shell. Okay, here is we have a no clobber. No clobbers means we don't want to redirect. So you want to activate. So currently it's off. So let's say we want to activate. So +O, no clobber. Okay, and then we check set -O, set -O, no clobber. Now no clobber is on. Okay, so previously it was off. Now when I do redirection like this, and then it will say I cannot overwrite an existing files. Okay, so previously when we do redirections, the target files will be overwrite. With no clobber, we can prevent that. Okay, so how do you deactivate the no clobber? We can use +O here, and then we can check -O again. It's already off. So if the no clobber is off, it means that when we do redirections, it will rewrite the target file. Okay, I have one question here from Raf. What's the difference between ls and more? So ls by definition, so ls minus help, you can type here. So ls means is so you can check usage. This is how you practice your Linux skills. So there is a command named ls, and then here is the explanation of that command. So in the beginning, by informing the purpose of that command. So the purpose for ls is to list information about the files in the current directory by default. Okay, and then you can see we have -A, -A, -B, -C, -O, lots of them. Okay, so ls is like this. ls-l is like this. Okay, it's more, it's a long version of just ls. So ls, the purpose of ls is displaying the content of directory. So I'm in my own directory, let's say pwd. So this is my directory. So I have in directory home, inside directory home, we have a directory live 20. Okay, so that's directory that I'm in now. Next is more. So you can choose more -help, just in case. Okay, so that is a file perusal filter for CRT viewing. So it means that you want to see the content. Okay, or you can use manual, more, And then check more is here's the description. Synopsis. More is a filter for paging through text one screen full at one time. So it means that when you see, if you see a long list, for example, more etc plus wd, okay, it will give you a paging. Yeah, so it will not display everything at once, so only display the content and with paging. So here, because the length of the file is quite long, it will display per page. You can scroll down using enter or space. If you want to quit, you can just type Q. Okay, simple as that. So hopefully you can understand the meaning, right? Okay, next, we'll be talking about some popular command line shells. Again, yeah, in the beginning, we use Bourne shell when I use Solaris for the first time. But that now I don't see many operating system now that is Unix based is now based on Bash shells. Okay, it's a born again shell, so it means that it's a born shell with additional features. So it's an improvement of born shell. Okay. Yeah, others when I was using when I was working in telecommunications, uh, another shell that we use a lot was corn shell, so KSH. Other shells are C shells. I think when you use FreeBSD, this is the default shell that you are using. Okay, not default. I mean set by default. Yeah, when you install operating FreeBSD for the first time, when you log in as a root, the default shell of the root is a C shell. Okay, that was in FreeBSD. Okay, other shell you can check it by yourself. There are lots of them. You can yeah you can Google them and get some information. Okay, so command in shell. There are lots of them. So actually, command is just a command. So command is nothing to do. I mean, not really related, but shell is the platform for running the commands. Okay. So without shell, you cannot run the command. Okay, but the command itself is not part of the shells. You get the idea, right? So the commands mostly located in USR bin. Okay, so these are the commands. Why there are lots of them? Well, you don't have to remember all of them. Okay, so these are the commands that is available on in this system. Okay, so you can see pi, vi, edit, cat, more, LPR, change mode, ch mode, cp for copy, mv for move, rm for remove. Okay, and then we have ls, who, w, pwd, so on and so forth. So I think, in my opinion, these are the shell. So because it looks like a shell, right? Like a Debian shell. Yeah. So this is how the shell looks. Not these are the command that usually being used when you access a shell. Okay, so understanding basic command is important skill for Unix or Linux engineer. Next is shell script. So actually, shell script is a plain text file that contains a series of commands to do some tasks. Okay, mostly a shell script are interpreted, so it means that we don't need to compile. It's written in plain text. Okay. The shell script, it depends on the interpreter, and then the way we distinguish how we differentiate the shell that is used on shell script is by putting an extension. Okay. Yeah, don't forget file must be executable. So that's why when we create a shell script, we have to put the executable on that files. Okay. Some notable extension are .sh. This is for bash shell or born again shell or born shell. Usually they use sh. We have .ksh for corn shell, csh for C shell, .py is for Python script, yeah, executable from shell, yes. PL for Perl, .php is for PHP. Yes, PHP is shell too, yes, it's possible. Okay, yeah, so that was the shell script. Okay, let's do the practice. Well, we already practiced since the beginning. Let's do some, what is it? Uh, Set up a shell script. Okay, so this is me. I will create shell. Okay, I use nano, for example. Nano script 01.sh. Okay, so this is our editors, and then in the beginning, usually we put shebang sign that indicates the shell we are using. Okay, so hash exclamation mark says bin bash, so it means that we'll be using bash script. Okay, and then it's up to you. Okay, you type a command here, for example, ls -l. Okay, and then exit and then save. Okay, so you can display the content of your script using cat script. See, so this is just the content. Well, how do you run? It's easy. Just run it like when you execute a command. So, for example, when you execute the command ls, actually we are executing the ls in the original directory with the help of path variables. Okay, how do I know that? You can use echo $path. Okay, so these are the path that we are using. Okay, so what's the purpose of path? Well, the purpose is you don't have to type the full path for the command. So for example, ls -l /usr bin ls. Is it there? Yes. So there is a command. Actually, when you do ls, you have to do usr bin ls and then to a directory that you want to display for home example. Okay, so you have to type the full path. Okay, that's what the purpose of path. So how can you, what happened if you remove the path? Yes, you can do that. So you can use a path. When you define a variables, path equals to nothing. When you do echo, so it's nothing, okay? So I have to type here. I have to save it first. Okay. So when you do ls, you cannot do you cannot type ls just like what we did before because the path is gone. Okay, so what you can do is /usr /bin /ls. Now you can do something. /etc, for example, /home, for example, yeah, and so on and so forth. So this is not convenient. Okay, so that's why we need to set up the path. So how do you define path equals to like this? Okay, and then we bring back the path, echo path. So when you want to display a content of directory so a content of variables, you have to put a $sign here. So it's similar like a PHP script. So that was it. It's a path. Okay. Okay, so that's the purpose of path. The understanding of concept of path is really useful when you troubleshoot a problem in system administration. Okay. Right. So yeah, how do you run the script? You can use bus and then like this. Okay. So why does it display like this? Well, because the content of the script is ls minus l. So ls minus l in the directory that I'm at now. Okay, so that's why the content is here. So can we change? Yes. Can we change? Look, guys, if you have any questions, and then just type something here in the chat box. Okay, I want to put another command, name hello world. Okay, save it, and yes. Okay, off we go. Okay, so bash script 1, it's like this. So how can we execute directly if we don't use bash, because the bash is already there? /home in live 20 and then execute script 01 .sh. No, permission denied. Why? Because there is no permission to execute this. So there is no X here. Okay, so that's why I need to put search mode plus X script 1. Now I'm checking again. It has executable flag now. So previously it was not, right? So with this condition, I can execute the script directly like this. Okay, so I have one question here. Is it possible to use if? Yes, why not? Yes, thank you for Arif Purnomo. Okay, so, okay, yeah, let's do an exercise here for creating a shell script. What is our exercise? Okay. Okay, let me check bin sh bus. No. Okay, here it is. Yeah, I have an example here for shell script. Yes, it is possible if we use nano script 1. Yes, it is possible to to set up an if. Okay, so for example, you want to check whether a file is readable or not. Okay, so it means that you need to understand the concept of a test. Okay, test. Yeah, here for example. Okay, before we go to bash, so there is a command named test. Okay, so test will result in true or false. Okay. Um, well, before we go to that, better if we understand the concept of exit status. Okay, exit status in Linux. So when you execute a command, ls-l, for example, uh, you can use echo $? Okay, so when you echo right after you send a command, it means that um, you're checking the exit status of the previous command. Okay, and then if the exit status is 0, it means that there is no error when the command is executed. Okay, there is no error. So it means 0 means no error. So what happened when you do ls-l/tmp p blah 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 blah. Okay, so the purpose for ls is to display a content of a directory or files, and I really believe that there is no such file like this in my server. So when I type, this is what I got. Okay, so it cannot access is clearly an error. How do I know it is an error? We check using the exit status. Here it is. So can you see that? Can you see the difference? So previously it was 0, now it's 2. Okay, next. Cat. Cat, for example, cat script 1. And then echo, it's 0. And then cat, for example, etc. Okay, so far log messages. It's not available to be viewed, for example. So the exit status will not be 0. It must be something else. Okay. So that's the concept of exit status. So for checking whether it's true or false. Okay. Now we go to the test statement. So we have a test here, for example, test minus help or man test. Okay, so test is a command to check the file types or compare values. Okay, so for example, you want to check whether files exist or a directory is exists. Okay, so you can use that. So in the beginning, okay, we can see here that -d is used to check a directory is exists or not. Okay, so test uh, test -d etc, for example, host. Okay, so the file is there. So when you see nothing happened on the screen, right? Well, actually it happens. What you need to check is check the exit status. Okay, so here it is. Test -d. D is directory, and this is not directory, so it means that it's 1. When you check again, etc. etc is a directory. When you echo the exit status, echo $? Oh, sorry, not test. echo dollar question mark. So it means it's 0. Okay, so you check here, you get idea. So it means that we use test to check whether the statement is true or false. Okay, if it is true and then it's 0, false, it means that it's not 0. So it's simple as that. So what's the meaning of 1? What is the meaning of 2, for example, here in the previous example? Well, that depends on the programmer. So you have to go to ls. So because here is a result of ls, and then you have to talk to ls programmer, man ls. So you talk to them who is programming the ls command here. You can check. Oh, written by Richard M. Stallman and David McKenzie. Okay, it was a long time ago. Richard M. Stallman is a founder of FSF, Free Software Foundation. Yeah, so he's a programmer. And then one software that he wrote was ls. Okay, so you ask him why you put here exit status is not 0 when I type this command, for example. Okay.
Madame.
Sorry, I have to.
Une erreur là. C'est une erreur qui s'est glissée.
Sorry, I have to mute your microphone. Okay. Okay, let's get back. Okay, so that's the meaning of if you have a question why, what's the meaning of non-zero here? Okay, what's the meaning of 1, 2, 3, 4? So it depends on the programmer. So for me, it is not important for me. So what important for me is 0 and then non-zero. Okay, 2 is number of errors. No, it's not. No. So you mean 1 is total is 1 error? No, no, it's not. So it's an error code. Okay, error code. So in PHP or HTTP, you have an error code, right? You can Googling here, HTTP error code. So error code means it's just a code, okay? You can hear is 200. 200 means success. Okay, so we're really happy. I'm a web programmer. When I see 200, it's a very pleasant experience when I develop a software. 4 started with 4 means client error, so it means from the client side. Okay, when you have 5, okay, 5 here start with 5 error, it means that from server side. Okay, so okay, thank you for the for a comment here, Arif Purnomo. Actually, it's the error code, okay? Not how many errors you have, no. Just error code. Code 1, code 2, code 3, whatever. So it's just a code, okay? So with this analogy, you can have, there are lots of operators. We have minus D, we have minus F. Minus F is for checking whether a file is exists or not. Okay, you can check here. Yeah, the file exists. Okay, so when you do same thing on directory, and then the exit status will be non-zero. Okay, so it doesn't mean that, oh, okay, so I have total 1 error. No, it's not like that. Okay. Yeah, okay. So that was the meaning of error code, okay? So test here. So the understanding of test is really important when you create a shell script, okay? Because, for example, in conditional statement, like if, you need to have a true or false results, okay? Yeah, and then true and false is represented by exit status, whether it's 0 or non-zero. Okay, uh, let's continue. So it means that I want to check, okay, if a file exists. Okay, so it means that I can check here script 01. I can just delete it. Okay, I can put if, okay, test minus f, okay, or maybe we can use a file name. Usually we can use a variables on the top, file name, okay, file name equals to slash etc host, okay. If test minus f of file name, right, and then what we do, uh, yeah, here is a little bit different. Files then, okay, you put here echo file exists, right? Else echo file not exists. And then how do you close the if statement? With bash, you put fee. Okay, you start with if and with fee. Well, why is it strange like that? Well, it's up to them. It's the programmer. Okay, so and then save, same files, and then you run. Okay, let's run the command files. Okay, slash home, live 20, script 01, hello world file exists, or you can just dot, because you are in this directory, same, right? A file exists. Okay, so what if you change something? Nano script 1. You change here slash etc slash blah 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 blah, which is not exist. Okay, so save it and then run file not exist. Oh, maybe we can update the name because we don't know the file names. Okay, we can put here echo file name is dollar file name, so that it's more useful when we execute them. Okay, let's start again. So the file name is this, file not exist. Right, so hopefully everyone can follow my exercise here. Okay, so in this exercise you can see it's a very simple script. Okay, cat script 1 or vi vim script 1. Okay, you can this is vi. You can set so you can display the numbers. Okay, so how many lines here? So total is 14 lines. Okay, 14 lines. It's just very simple script. In your work, you can create a script that consists of thousands of lines. Okay. Yeah. So for those who will be working in as a system administrator or network administrator, shell script is your friend. its shell script is very, very useful when you want to do automation. You can do like a MySQL backup, PostgreSQL backup. You can compare two variables, and then you can check. You can do a health check every day, and then send the result through a command line. Okay, using mail commands. Okay. You can do backup, you can do many things. Okay, you can do many things. Anything else? No? Looks like everyone's understand. Oh, okay. I have a question here coming to me. So what if the command is, the variables is coming from the command line, like blah, blah, blah here and blah, blah, blah there, okay? Maybe ha, ha, ha. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah. Okay, so actually we want to get, we want to put the input from the command line itself. So it's not, we have to edit the files, and then we have to edit the files, and then, and then run the script. No, it's not. So you can do that, yes, by using the a shell argument, okay? So when you execute a shell, okay, so the shell will parse the command. So how they parse? So it mean the way they parse is like this. So this is the first part, and then here's the second part, and then here's the third part. So here they so every part will be put into a variables. So the variables here is $0. Here is $1. Here is $2. And then if you have, if you put more variables here, and they will add accordingly. Okay, $4, $5, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is the positional parameter, positional variable. So start from 0 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So the purpose for our script is to put the input on the first parameter. It means that the parameters after the command name here, the $0. So how can we do that? Yes, we can edit the files and then update the content. Vim, I usually use Vim, okay. We can use positional parameters, positional variables actually, the name. So I just use, for example, echo $0. Okay, so this is echo $1, echo $2, and then echo $3. So this is just want to show you the positional parameters. Okay, so as you can see, oh, okay, maybe I can update the files here. Yeah, okay, so as you can see, after hello world is the echoing the $123. Okay, so this is $0. Okay, here it is. So here is $0. Here's the $0. Here's the $1. Here's $012. Okay, so this one is coming from here. Okay, this one is coming from here. This one is coming to here. Okay. So we can use We can use tips like this. Okay, so instead of file name is blah, 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 we just put a command on it. File name equals to $1. Oh, okay, sorry, I got info from admin that our time is up. Yeah, we just only have 1 hour here for a webinar, but hopefully you can get most of the webinar from here. Yeah, info from admin is please, if you have topics, and then please write down here. Okay, so your topic will be discussed in the next webinar, of course. Okay, let's do the script. So file name is ha. So file is not exist. So as you can see here, so if I don't put any parameters, so it will display nothing. Okay, so if I type etc host, for example, it will change accordingly. If I change it, etc blah blah blah, and then it's there. Okay, so it changed the variables accordingly based on my input on my command line. Right, so I think that concludes our webinar tonight. Thank you very much, and we really appreciate you give us a feedback. Thank you. Yeah, thank you in advance for attending up to now. Okay, we have almost 20 participants. Oh, maybe 20 a few minutes ago. Some are left already. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay. Again, guys, please give us a feedback to make our webinar better. Also, if you have a suggestion for topics, okay, just feel free to share. And I think thank you very much for me, and see you in the next webinar. And I think admin has some words to do. Okay, go ahead,
Yeah.
moderators.
Guys, thank you very much for your attendance, and we hope this webinar will give you a good benefit. And Mas Aris Purnomo, you are the best today because you are helping and you're very active. And thank you for your idea and advice for next webinar as well, Mas Calvin, Mas Aditya. So last request, can you please turn on your video, please? And we can take picture.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah, please do it. And don't
All
forget,
right,
please
okay, so it's
put
a
your
photo
feedback,
session.
right? Yes, photo session.
Photo session, thank you very much for joining us. So please turn on your camera. Come on, guys, don't be shy. Right, I have 16 participants, but only 6 turn on their camera. Okay, guys,
Maybe
please.
others still holiday. Holiday mode.
Holiday.
No problem. Just smile.
The smile, yeah. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, one more, admin. Do you need one
Yes,
more?
please.
Okay. Okay,
Everybody smile.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you
guys,
so
thank you
much.
very much. I hope you enjoy our webinar.
Yes.
If you want to do more practice, you can do so. The live practice server will be available up to 1 hour from now. And after that, I will delete all the accounts. Okay. Yeah. Again, thank you very much for coming, and then see you in the next webinar. Have a nice day, and bye-bye.